really basic stuff here, but if you're a beginner gardener, nobody really tells you these things. I mean, unless you ask, but you don't really know the questions to ask. So pollinators, the benefits of pollinators, what they do, what's a good pollinator, what's not a good pollinator. There are all sorts of pollinators that we have in our garden. Some of them we want there for sure. Some of them, they're pollinating, yeah, but they're eating just as much as they're pollinating. So we don't want those pollinators. Even though they're still doing somewhat of a pollination job, they're a bit slower usually because they're eating along the way. So it's like having a child picking berries for you. They eat 1 or 2 berries. Whereas if you have a horse in there picking berries, they're eating your crop. So you have to understand which ones that you want in there and which ones you don't. And things that you could be doing that might be deterring some of your good pollinators. So first of all, we're going to talk about the good pollinators. And of course, we know that they're bees. Wasps pollinate too. We don't really like wasps around. As long as they don't make homes in here, then I don't mind them coming and pollinating. They don't eat my bushes unless they're a leafcutter wasp. We got little bitties that pollinate. Let's see if we can get a picture of this one. This one's pollinating. See it? Little ladybug there. She's pollinating and eating aphids. They're good pollinators. I'm gonna keep those. She's keeping my pepper plants healthy. Oh, we want that. And let's see, I saw somebody over here we don't want. Oh, he disappeared. So it was a grasshopper. Don't want them. Oh, here he is. Okay, so here's this little guy. We don't want him. So we're gonna take him and throw him away. I don't like to kill things, so I'm gonna just throw him out of my garden. Oh, there he goes. Goodbye. So, threw him out in the field. He can eat grass or whatever. We don't want that kind of pollinator. Let me bring you over here to the big flowers. We're gonna watch the bee world for a minute. These are our good pollinators. Look at them just going crazy. They love these flowers. And they're taking pollen from one plant, moving it from one flower, moving it to another flower. So basically they're propagating for you. And I'm gonna open this one here because there's another little pollinator in there. I'm not sure what that's called, but he's a slower one. And it does fly, because I see little wings on it, but some of them, you know, get around faster than others. But you want them into that flower right there to get the pollen on their legs, and then they move it from one flower to another so that they can gather food to make honey for their queen. And we get the benefit too. God's amazing, isn't he? I don't see any in those flowers. I really love watching them though. They're a lot of fun. And for the most part, I like bees. They usually leave you alone. They don't mind a little bit of noise around them. But I noticed too, this is what I was gonna talk about, is that since I sprayed these, I didn't spray the flowers. Try really hard not to spray the flowers with that, the pest potion that I showed you on the last video, because it's pest removal, so it's going to deter bees as well. We don't want to deter the bees. We just want to deter the other bad bugs. So try to keep from spraying it on your flowers, because the bees don't like it either. And so as you can see, they're a little crazy right now. They're like, where are we going? I don't like that smell. And they're moving away from the plant, which is fine. They've already been in and out of these flowers. Yesterday there was a ton of them, and tomorrow it'll be worn off and they'll come back. But if you use a non-organic pesticide, you could be really deterring, I mean basically shooting yourself in the foot, because your pollinators are going to leave your garden. We have our neighbor over here across the way. He's got a couple beehives, one or two, maybe just one, but look at how many bees we got from it. I'm very thankful for that. I'd love to do beehives, and I think I will at one point. That all costs money and time, and right now I don't have much of either one of those. So we're gonna just stick with what we've got, and they're doing a great job pollinating from the neighbor's house. So if I didn't have pollinators, I would have to self-pollinate, or manually. So what I would do is I would go along my plants and I would take either a Q-tip or my finger or something soft, and I'd rub this one just a little bit, and then go into the next one, and oh, there's a bee in there. Let's watch them. I rub that one just a little bit, and so on and so forth. And then you would get some pollination done that way. But when you see fruit early on and stuff, then you know that your pollinators are doing an okay job. You don't really need to help out. So if you got flowers that just fall off, they wither up and fall off, you either got some kind of a disease going through it. Usually there's other signs too, not just flower wilt. But if they're falling off, it's because, and they're not producing a fruit, it's because your pollinators aren't around. So they're not doing their jobs. So then all you have to do is just get in there and do some pollinating yourself. If you're in weeding, then you might just do it anyways. Even if you have pollinators in there, you might just do an extra little bit of pollinating yourself. It's fun, and you feel like you're taking part in the reproduction, or the production of fruit. Anyways, that's really all I wanted to talk about. I think of these things while I'm pulling weeds, and then I go, hey, I wonder if everybody knows about pollinators and what role they play, and how to tell if you have adequate pollinators and that kind of thing. It's late morning again. This seems to be the time when I get out. I have coffee with my husband in the morning, and I really treasure that time. And before that, earlier, I have my quiet time and read and pray and whatever. If you need prayer, you can always put a comment down below and just say, pray for me. God knows what it is. I'll be happy to pray for you in my morning quiet time. And that's it for today, or at least for this part of the day. I'm gonna go and work out because my body's getting fat, and I don't like that. So God bless you guys, and have a great day.